Hey guys, this is a That Darn Rob Fanchurian. I think maybe it's the version 1 or something close to that. The soap we're going to be using is Dr. John 13. I came around the Valentine's Day mark. I really enjoy that scent. I don't use it nearly enough. Fat Boy is going to be today's razor of choice for vintage Gillette, and then the Nacet's going to go in it. $278 looks like today's count. And here it is with the 3 dots. And I have it cranked up all the way, because this is an old blade, all the way up to 9. And here's the soap. It shrank over time. See this gap over here? And so what I did just a couple minutes ago, take my thumbnail and dig around to get some excess shavings. And so I crammed those up into here. I don't want the puck to move around while I'm loading the soap. Roger Quintero Lather Bowl, as you've seen me use many times if you're familiar with my channel. 3D printing. If you can do that, the files are located at a link in the body of the video description. This brush has been soaking for a little while, and that's because I discovered, and this is actually the brush that caused me to discover it, that when you have a finest badger brush that has tips that have been bleached, they need a little bit more time sometimes for the tips and the fibers to absorb that water and get softer. I was using this brush, and it just early on in a normal way, and it just felt kind of hard. Didn't splay very easy in the first pass, but then by the third pass it would, and it'd be comfortable and enjoyable to use. And I thought, what's the deal? Water absorption time. It just needs that prior to the shave, and then I can have that nice comfort in the first pass all through the rest of the passes. All right. My face wet. About 24 hours of growth, I think, today. And this is fairly soft water. So Dr. John's 13. Does this one have which version it is? I don't think so. All right. This knot holds a good bit of water, so I'm shaking out a lot of it. All right. Oh, 30 is rolling around right there. Let's kind of put 30 seconds on it, and let's just see what happens, how the froth looks. And that's 20 seconds. Yeah, I bet 30 seconds is going to be good enough. And there we go. We do have some overflow, and that's all right. I'm going to rinse that off the side of the can, though, especially with these metal cans. You don't want that soap to get in the threads and dry there. Put the tub over there to the side. It's I like to do that, and then as I'm shaving, it'll dry out a little bit, and then I'll cap it up when I'm done shaving. That's the way I do it. Some people like to leave it on a lot. I leave it off a lot of the time to get a lot of that water out, but it's too much for me. I don't want to lose the scent. I think the scent on this soap is kind of weakened over time. I just have too many soaps to be able to use it frequently. Real big fan of this soap when it first came out. Performance is great. It is a vegan soap, but it still does great. Dr. Jons is a thirsty soap. Why don't we kind of shortcut it? Stick in 2 teaspoons of water right away, and let's see what happens. Going in nicely. Took it a little slower than I usually do, just because I didn't want to just whip up something airy and bubbly that I'd have to keep working on to get the bubbles out. Three teaspoons. Looks like it's coming pretty close. Nice slickness. Yeah, that feels good as I try to rinse it away. Let us put 1 more half in, and I think we'll go with that, so that's 3.5 teaspoons for a 30-second load. I'm not looking at a large amount of lather, but that's fine. It should be plenty to do the job. Just take a look at it here, how elastic it is. It does hold up its own weight if I kind of keep it vertical, but it falls slowly when I tip it over. So we'll just see if that turns out to be the right ratio for this. Put water on my face to start things off. Brush feels great. Splaying pretty easily. Lather is nice. It feels really good on my face. Looks like I've gotten a nice creamy mix. You know, I was reading about shaving. I stumbled across a page on WebMD. Talked about having the lather on your face for 2 to 3 minutes prior to doing your shave, so that the lather does a good job of hydrating your beard, your whiskers, your stubble. Obviously, face latherers are going to abide by that without really thinking about it because they have to build up the water. But if you're a bowl latherer like me, you may want to make sure that you don't jump into your shave too quickly. I mean, if you can help it, if you like the results, then obviously you can go as quick as you want. But I've long held the view that my lather just seemed to do better when I gave it a chance to, and I've used the word for a while, bond with my skin. And that has more to do with just the feel of it and not necessarily any kind of cutting performance, but I guess I'll take what I can get, right? This could actually still use a little bit more water. So this 9 setting, I definitely don't go for that if I have a newer blade. Personally, stick with a 3. Maybe even a 2 sometimes if I just really want a smooth, comfy shave. There we go. Knock that first pass down with just a little bit of tugging feeling, and I'm happy with that. Okay, in light of that, why don't we take that last half teaspoon of water, make it an even 4 teaspoons in the mix here. Probably actually need another half or so, but that's all right. This brush has a big splay. It works well. Definitely enjoying the brush today. Oh yeah, we got some good stubble cut down on that first pass because it's a very comfy second pass. And do we have any? Yep, got a little goatee lather to kind of work on this area a little bit. It's my problem child. Dr. Jons is a very underrated soap in my opinion. The slickness, the feel that I'm getting here is just terrific. Luxurious. I like a lot of his different scents. I like Propaganda a lot. I think that one's kind of a woody orange. I like Conquest and Defiance. I think both of those kind of have a woody, spicy note that maybe I'm not as much of a fan of. But Black Label is really Nice and classy. He's the one who did Sakura Musk. I've got a Hydra sample of his. Well, I guess it's the small puck, like a 2-ounce puck maybe. And I've just never tried it. Just haven't gotten around to it yet. He makes Flowers in the Dark, which is a very lavender focused scent, but it's got kind of just a hint of a dark twist to it that I've heard a lot of people out there like. Let's just check out, yeah, let me pause you, get a good rinse going. Yeah, let's put on a little touch-up pass. It turns out we have plenty of lather. Maybe enough for another 3 passes, probably at least 2. And I do just a little bit of skin tightening here, skin pulling, tugging, if you will. Chin, I lift it up and away. The skin here, pull it down and away this way a little bit. And then always keep that light touch. There we go. Don't want to over pull. I believe you can, there's a tendency there to get ingrown hairs, because if you open up those pores too much and cut a little too closely, then the hairs can turn in on you, and you don't want that. That's a good shave. It's a little bit more of a shadow than I might normally like, but that's a good shave. As far as post-shave goes, I just wanted to whip out Declaration Grooming Puzzle from 2019. I liked it a lot. It's got, what were the notes? You know, we had to guess the 4 notes. Rosemary, vetiver, I think vanilla. I thought it was tonka bean. I can't remember the other one. I really enjoy it. All right, well, there we go. And this one was my first Declaration aftershave, where he sent the menthol drops separately. So I just didn't add those, and I've been enjoying this splash ever since, because menthol is not my preference. All right. So then it did get a chance to dry just a little bit. These metal tubs do have a few disadvantages. I like them a lot. They can bind up a little easier, which is not great. They can dent, obviously, if you're traveling or something like that, which is not great. I think in many cases they look really nice, but plastic ones do hold up a little better. They don't dent or anything like that. Yeah, I think this 2 cents kind of transition nicely to each other. There is not a lot of scent in this particular soap. Yeah, we've definitely got some lather left over here. Plenty. Yeah, it's definitely 3 shaves worth. at least. And the slickness is a light buttery type that's just really good for a vegan soap to achieve. And this could still have some more water in it, but look at that. That's what I'm talking about. This is great. It's got some cushion. It definitely has creaminess to it. It feels like an amazing luxury lather. It really does. So this may not be some fancy base that has come out recently, but this is an amazing soap base. Luxury feel, great shave. Very, very nice. And once again, I don't have a clean appendage to turn on the water with. It just feels great rinsing it away. It is also not super clingy in the sense that it takes a while to rinse away. Didn't take very long at all. Great feel on this one. He also has a line of essential oil soaps. Clary Sage and Sweet Birch is one of them. I think I'm going to use that this month later on in the Lather games. Toward the end of the month, there's a day where we're using only soaps that have essential oils and no fragrance oils. And so there's several in that line where it's mainly, there's lime as well, or they're just focused on the essential oils for people who have that as a priority. None of the other Dr. John's soaps that I really enjoy are popping into my brain right now, so we'll just have to let that pass. The brush did great today because I let it soak for a good while. 4 teaspoons and 30 seconds was the ratio today. Had a great time. So, use number 278 was a success. Very light tugging on the first pass, so that was easily forgotten by the time I got to the second, and a great shave. Close result. Yep, I'm happy with that. Hey guys, I sure hope that your COVID experience is maybe brightening up a little bit. I was just talking to a friend today, and they said that in South Carolina, the COVID cases is actually starting to spike, and that recently, in terms of the number of tests, we were seeing even more than all of the previous tests in the whole time period. So it appears that there's a spike. Now, maybe it's because more tests are making it out to the different facilities, and so they're able to test more. But hopefully it's not, because we're relaxing our guidelines and governments are starting to let people get back into restaurants and things like that. Hopefully we're not going to see a backlash of it. So just be careful with yourself. Keep in good contact, and maybe shoot a family member or a friend an email or a text today, just to say hey. Just say hey, thinking about you. Hope you're doing well. And just let it be that. And you don't have to be super creative to try to make it super meaningful if you don't want to. And sometimes it's good not to do that, because sometimes if I want to craft a message that really explains how I feel, I never end up sending it because it takes too long to do that. Just say hey. Just say hey. All right. Man, I'm really enjoying this puzzle. Really enjoying that scent being around me. It's a nice, smooth, easy one with not a lot of punch, not harshness, not at all. And so in that sense, I think it works nicely with the 13. All right, I think we're good. I sure hope that you are getting something good from this video. And yesterday, about the Lather games, yesterday was the D-Day shave. And, we saw that video. But the challenge was, see if I can remember it. The challenge was Michael Friedberg. His username on Reddit is Cadenzer. And the goal was to explain to him why he should come back and keep making his weekly videos for the shaving community. Because he did that for a good long while, and within the past few months he stopped because he just wanted to quit with it. Almost became a little bit of a drudgery. Wasn't as enjoyable to do. I think his style was he would take a soap that he wanted to evaluate. People would send him stuff and he would use it for several days so that he could evaluate it properly, which is great. But that meant he was locked down. He had a bunch of soaps, a bunch of samples that he never was able to get to because of what he was doing. And so he replied to my SOTD post by saying, yeah, I pulled out my drawer of soaps and I just gleefully look at it and look forward to picking out whatever I want to shave with. And so my statement to address that challenge, what would I say to bring him back? I'd say absolutely nothing. He left because he just wanted to be happier. He wanted to chase after some different things, and I want that happiness for him. And so I don't want him to come back if that's not going to be something that he enjoys and is happy about. And so that was the challenge of yesterday. And so if you want to read a little bit about Michael Friedberg and Cadenser, if you're a new shaver and you happen to have stumbled upon this video, I highly recommend Michael Friedberg's 4-part tutorial on wet shaving that's available on YouTube. Just type Michael Friedberg, I think it's Freedberg, and wet shaving tutorial. And it'll be 4 parts. I think it's great, especially if you're a brush latherer. Highly recommend his stuff. All right, there we go. Gonna go to sleep. We'll see what tomorrow's daily challenge is. And I don't have my schedule with me. I'm not going to be able to tell you what tomorrow's theme is, but we'll find out soon enough. All right, guys, take care. Have a good night.